From the beginning of time, Satan has been on a mission to drag you to hell. And he uses doubts to do so. Remain alert to Satan's schemes. Remain alert to Satan's schemes. In Revelation 12, the Bible highlights and reveals an angelic holy war where Michael and his angels fights against Satan, the dragon and his angels. And Satan loses and God wins. Amen. But the Bible teaches that Satan gets hold to the earth. And the battle doesn't end. It just changes places. The war is still raging. The war is still raging. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 that we are not unaware of Satan's schemes. While some of us were dreaming of food during the Christmas period, Satan was scheming on how to drag you out of the kingdom. Turn your Bibles to Genesis chapter 3. The first question ever asked of man is, where are you? But did you know that was not the first question asked to man? No, it wasn't. Genesis 3 verse 1, now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord had made. He said to the woman, did God really say? Doubts. 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 We cannot remain alert to Satan's schemes if we have no idea what his schemes are. From the beginning of time, Satan has been on a mission to drag you to hell. And he uses doubts to do so. But there's more schemes we find in Genesis 3. It says in verse 2, the woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the tree in the gardens, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden. And you must not touch it, or you will die. He didn't say that. Verse 4. You will surely not die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. And you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for the food, pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her all along, and he ate it too. We find Satan goes from doubt to distraction. Satan convinced Eve that being like God was more valuable than worshiping God. Shifted her view from worshiping the King of Kings to I want to be just like God. There's still more. Verse 7. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Then a man and a woman and his wife heard the sound of the Lord as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord among the trees of the garden. But the Lord called out to them, where are you? He goes from doubt to distraction to discouragement. Discouragement, the definition is to lose courage. And they lose courage. And instead of coming to God and saying, God, I've sinned. I'm sorry. I want to change. They run, they hide, they blame shift, and they give in to discouragement. All throughout the Bible, doubt, discouragement, and disappointment and distractions have made men miss the call of God. Cain and Abel. Cain was discouraged, and he killed his brother. The Tower of Babel, they wanted to make a name for themselves, not a name for Lord. Abraham called by God to leave his father's house. First sign of trouble, he goes to Egypt and pimps out his wife. Doubts. As I look out in the crowd today, I see doubt. I see distractions. And I see discouragement. And it ticks me off. It makes me mad. Because this is where I was at. I doubted God's call for my life. So discouraged, I thought I would no longer be able to become a disciple, be a disciple. Pornography, masturbation. To see, change my theology. So distracted. I wasted so much time. People dying to my left and to my right. I was so focused on myself. And I believe many of us are in a similar situation. But what is the solution? What is the battle plan? Question. Have you ever realized that the first temptation in the Old Testament is identical to the first temptation in the New Testament? In Matthew 4, when Jesus is tempted by Satan, there's a food temptation. Turn the stone to bread. But really it's an identity temptation. If you are the Son of Man. And how did Jesus respond? It is written. Man shall not live by bread alone. It is written. It is written. What was the difference between Eve and Jesus? Jesus knew his word. Jesus knew the Bible. And I put it before you this morning, man. Satan is scared of you. Terrified of who you can become. Terrified. That's why at the beginning of the Bible, beginning of the New Testament, he goes after discouraging you. Filling your heart with doubts. Distracting you from your purpose and your goal. But no more. The challenge is simple. Very simple. Read the Bible. Many of you have no idea what the Bible says about your situation right now. It's because you don't read the Bible. You go to the world for your solutions. Read the Bible. In 2023, we will be alert of Satan's schemes. No longer give in to the doubt, discouragement, or distractions. If we read the Bible, and to God be all the glory.
Try